Sometimes the confusion isn't about what you received, and it's not even about how you interpreted it. It's about what you did with it. You noticed something, a sense about a person, a shift in a situation, a piece of information that felt clear. And almost immediately, another question appears. Am I supposed to do something with this? For many people, that answer becomes automatic. You say something, you act, you try to help, you try to fix, or you stay involved longer than you needed to. And afterwards, something feels off. Maybe it didn't land well, or it created more confusion, or it pulled you into something that wasn't actually yours. This is where a different kind of clarity is needed. Not what am I getting, but what is mine to do with what I'm getting? This is one of the most important distinctions in this work, and it's one of the easiest to miss. Clarity is not permission. Because when something comes in clearly, it often feels like it should be used. You see something, you understand something, you feel something strongly. And the assumption becomes, if I'm seeing this, I'm supposed to do something with it. I'm supposed to help someone with it. But that's not how intuition works. Intuition gives you access, not assignments. You can receive something accurately and still not be meant to act on it. You can understand something deeply and still not be meant to say it. And when those get confused, something subtle happens. You begin to move into over-involvement, over-responsibility, or premature action. Not because you're wrong, but because you didn't separate clarity from permission. Over time, this creates a pattern. You act on things that weren't yours. You say things that weren't ready to be heard. You step into situations that didn't require you. And then afterwards, something feels off. Not obviously wrong, but not fully aligned. And if that happens enough, your system starts to question, was that intuition? When in reality, the signal was accurate. It's just the action wasn't aligned. That distinction protects your trust. To bring this into something usable, we're going to work with 3 questions. Not as something to overthink, but as a way to pause before acting. 1, is this mine? This is the first and most important question. Not is this real, not is this accurate, but does this belong to me? You may receive something that is completely accurate and still not yours. For example, you may sense that someone is struggling. That may be true. But is it yours to intervene? Is it yours to name? Is it yours to act on? And sometimes the answer to that is no. And recognizing that early prevents unnecessary involvement and harm to that person. 2, is this in the highest good? If something is yours to engage with, the next question is about impact. Not, do I feel like saying something? But would sharing or acting on this actually serve the person or situation? This matters because timing is not always aligned. Something can be true and still not be useful in that moment. Or it may be too specific, too much, too soon. When someone receives information they're not ready for, it can create confusion and trigger resistance, or it can lead them to act in ways that aren't actually supportive. So even when you get a yes to sharing, there is still another layer, which is question 3. What level of detail is appropriate? This is where discernment becomes more precise. Sometimes the answer is say something general. Sometimes say nothing at all. Sometimes wait. And sometimes be specific. But the key is matching what you share to what can actually be received. Not everything needs to be said in full. And often the most aligned expression is simpler, lighter, and less detailed. This isn't withholding. This is alignment. This protects your energy, your clarity, and your relationships. It also protects the integrity of your intuition. Because when you act outside the scope, you start to mistrust what you receive. Not because it was wrong, but because the outcome didn't align. Just begin to notice the difference between receiving something and being responsible for it, because they are not the same. And learning that distinction is what allows intuition to stay clear, grounded, and actually supportive without pulling you into what was never yours to carry.